Hi there, thanks for watching another episode of Nadia TV, and today we're gonna talk about intermittent fasting. I don't know if you've heard about this, but this is really cool and it's becoming more and more popular now. And I've heard about intermittent fasting and fasting in general a while ago. Well, first of all, fasting in general, I've heard when I was little. My mom was reading the book of Paul Bragg, and I don't know, I guess a lot of people know Paul Bragg, and he was talking about the miracle of fasting. So, and he would be fasting for days on end. That sounds really extreme for me, but basically what he was saying is that the body detoxifies then, and people would let the kidney stones or out, or things like crazy stones going to be coming out of the body starts to recover itself. And that was cool, but going like 30 days without any food, I wouldn't be recommending to you. And not without any preparation, but I wasn't ready to do that quite yet, but I've heard about intermittent fasting and I wanted to give it a try. I was putting it away for a little while, up until I had this conversation with this great doctor who's a very scientific doctor. We had an amazing conversation, and he was like, well, intermittent fasting is very important for you. And I was like, really? That's like a 15th person who's telling me that. And this guy is like a very deep into research kind of doctor. So he doesn't recommend anything unless it was proven like a lot of times. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to try it. And so basically, what is intermittent fasting? What is this thing that I'm talking about? Intermittent fasting is when you actually don't eat for 16 hours between the times you eat. So let's say I wake up at 10 a.m. I have my first meal at 10:30, and then I eat normally throughout the day, and then my last meal would be at 6:30. So 8 hours I'm eating, and then 16 hours I'm not. So basically what's happening is between your last meal of the day and between your first meal of the next day, you're having a 16-hour gap. For some people it sounds extreme, but for others, if you think about it, it's really not that bad. And a lot of times when people are on the diet, they're told that they shouldn't be eating after 6 or 7 anyways. So when you think about it, it's not actually that crazy at all. It's just discipline with it. But, for a lot of people, the hard part is that they're just used to automatically grab things at night, or they're eating continuously. And the only time when they are not eating is when they're sleeping, which is not always even 8 hours for many people. Let's face it, a lot of people don't get enough sleep. So it's like 6 hours that you're not eating, and the rest of the time you're eating. Which, first of all, obviously you will have a bigger chance of overeating if you're eating for such a long time. And secondly, your body is constantly working on digesting the food. So your stomach is constantly full and it's just not feeling that great. And so I tried intermittent fasting and I absolutely love it. I'm a total convert now, and I absolutely recommend it for you to try it for yourself. The great way to start is to start with 12 hours, which means, if you are eating your first breakfast like me at 7 a.m., then the last meal would be before 7 p.m. Doesn't sound that bad, does it? Then it's really fine, right? But then if your first meal is at 10 a.m., then you can eat up until 10 p.m., which is very doable, and I think it's not that bad. So you can start for a week of 12 hours, and then try the next week, do it 13 hours and a little more. You'll feel that your stomach is getting more flat, and you'll feel in the morning you'll be much more aware when your stomach is full, which I think is such a key for a lot of people in weight loss. And it's just so important for you to finally feel like, oh, okay, this is my stomach when it's empty. And as I'm starting to put food in, oh, okay, I am full now. You will have a better understanding of when you're full, because your stomach is actually completely empty and it's not constantly overfilled with new coming food, not having any opportunity to contract, relax, and just, be. And another great thing about intermittent fasting is that your body actually does its amazing work of recovery and detoxification when it's not digesting food. So if you give it a tiny bit of break, which is, this is going to be, if you eat at 7, it's going to still digest food for a few hours, but then afterwards it's going to be done digesting. And what it's going to start doing is recovering your other bodily functions. So it might start working on whatever imperfections you have in your body. So whatever problems you might be having, it will start recovering it, because it actually has an opportunity to put a full attention to something else going on in your body. And it helps, it's detoxified, it helps a lot with detoxification of our hormones. As I'm talking in a lot of my presentations, is that the hormone detoxification is so important. All of our hormones, from sex hormones, thyroid hormones, all of them, they have to go through the liver and get out of our body through, well, let's face it, a bowel movement. Really, they do come through a gallbladder, and then they change the structure through the liver, and then they get out. So that's how the hormones have to detoxify. The big problem with not detoxifying, what am I doing? Detoxifying. Thank you. Yes. Detoxifying your hormones is that estrogen is getting stuck in the body and keeps recirculating. It comes into the liver, and then it changes the form. It becomes a more toxic form of estrogen, starts recirculating back in the body, because nothing's happening, because we keep eating and we don't let our digestive system to rest and do its job properly. So once you're starting to actually do the intermittent fasting, you'll see that everything starts working much better, and you'll see changes in your skin, which is so huge with estrogen detoxification and generally detoxification of your liver and gallbladder. So you're going to see the changes in your skin, and you're going to see the changes in probably your body composition. So if weight loss is one of those things that you are interested in, you should definitely try intermittent fasting without doing anything else. This will actually make a huge change over time. So I'd like you to try that and let me know how it goes. And guys, please join my Facebook group where we're constantly doing the challenges. We're going to be having a challenge coming up for a week of intermittent fasting. So I'm going to be doing that with you, holding your hand, and we're going to do it together. All our challenges are completely free, and it's just a fun thing to do together. So because then we can be posting, oh my gosh, I'm hungry, and then I can answer your questions as we go through the Facebook group. So that's a fun thing to do, and I hope I'll see you there. And thanks again for watching. Thanks guys. Bye.